And here I am. Where are you? Well, I didn't expect to be here live this fast from the last one, folks. And a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, how often are you going to make these live videos? Why? A lot of people don't like it. Well, you don't have to watch them. There's plenty of other videos to watch. But again, I'm going to be having the same problem that I think I always have here. So just bear with me in a minute as I wait for people to come on here and join me. So, yeah, I'll tell you why in a minute, why I really wasn't planning on doing a live video here tonight. It just turned out that I wound up doing it as I go along here. But I think I gotta first take this stupid thing off unlisted because I'm unlisted, and I still don't understand why I can't get these things public right off the bat. These should be public right off the bat without me playing with it, because I'm wasting people's time here, wasting my own time here too. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I want to make public the default setting for this. Otherwise, you have to have a link in order to find out that I'm on here live. And I don't know why it's coming up unlisted all the time. So I'll save it as public. And there was somebody that got there, so hopefully I am public now. And I really wasn't going to come here, as I say. What I was going to do was, I was actually looking to go on a live stream of my own that I wanted to see tonight. And he's a comedian, a Long Island comedian named Vic D. Potato. He hates when people mispronounce his name, but it's hard to say. Vic D. Potato. And he's the guy that went viral a while ago with the, I gotta get the bread and milk. I gotta get the bread and milk. It's snowing. It's gonna snow. The paper said snow. I need the bread and milk. So I always found him pretty funny. I've been watching a lot of his videos ever since that one went crazy, and a lot of people have seen it. So anyway, he's got this thing over there on his channel, which I just subscribed to, where he has a thing called 30 Seconds with Vic. And you get to, you email your phone number. All his fans email their phone numbers to him. And then he calls you at home, and you get to be on the show live, which I thought was fun. Anyway, so what happens is, here I am, typical, my luck is a lot like Vic's luck, Here I am, it's the first night where I really want to do this. I'm all set to go. I'm standing there with my phone ready. I got it, and as it turns out, what do you know? There's a little message that says, I'm sorry, but it's going to be postponed until Sunday or Monday night. Not sure which. Sorry for the inconvenience. So I got to tune in then and hope that I get through. So, I don't know. Are they going to call me? I don't know how it works. There's so many people, hundreds of people that, send their phone numbers through for a possible call that, the chances of you getting picked as a person, getting a call at your house by Vic on the air, it might take a couple of weeks. But anyway, I was ready to go, and he wasn't, so here's this show. Hey, Reggie714, what do you say there? What's a good word? Reggie714 is here to ask me, what do I think of Paul's brother Mike McGear's music? Pretty good singer. Never heard Mike McGear, I think I do have the album, one of the albums of his. I don't know how many he made, but I do have the one where he's lying down like Gulliver's Travels or something. He's tied to the ground or something, the giant. I think that's the cover of it. And so that's an interesting way to start. I really don't know. I haven't heard any of Mike McGear's stuff. So, again, we're here to see how we're going to be doing. Thanks anyway, Reggie. You can keep, asking more questions. And, I'm ready here with my water in case people start coming on here. Still got a mess in here, Haven't cleaned it up. And, as I say, this was impromptu again. I'm really going to make these chats, these actual Q&A, if you will, these Q&A things. I'm going to actually make these a little more spaced out. I haven't decided. I may come up with a regular time, whether it's once a week maybe, once every other week, if I can resist, because I enjoy communicating with the fans that watch the channel. So anyway, Reggie says that you can tell that Mike McGear is a less experienced writer, but the music is good and he's clearly a natural talent. Okay, I hope to find out. A lot less viewers on the Q&A episodes. Well, it's too early to tell. Hopefully it takes off a little bigger, Reggie. The thing about it is, a lot of people get turned off the idea. They say, you're wasting too much time doing live Q&As. We'd rather you make regular videos. And nobody needs to worry about that, because I'm not going to stop making regular videos. And I am going to try to space these Q&As out farther between. It's just fun, I mean, see what people have to say. And I can't stress enough, anybody who may be watching this that watches my channel, I like to hear from new people, and that not to put down any of the people that are always cool, that always show up here, It's always good to have a regular assortment of friends and regulars here. But, I'm also hoping that some people who've never really had a chance to come on here and ask questions, give opinions, thoughts, whatever. Still searching for the proper title for this. I've been working with a few titles. Whatever I say here may not be indicative of what's going to be the permanent title. I'm thinking of a title for this other than just plain old everyday Q&A. I was thinking of a title, something to do with my name, Mean Mr. Mayo, mayonnaise, So I wanted something that would convey the feeling of I'm doing a Q&A, I want questions and answers, but at the same time, while I'm doing the Q&A, while I'm doing questions and answers, I want to try to get mayo in there, mayonnaise. So I was thinking like, hold the mayo, but I tried to work with that. I was looking, you should see me, I was online looking up thesaurus, looking for words that kind of were synonymous with the word hold, for hold the mayo, something that had to do with Q&A. I finally looked up the word ask, A-S-K, instead of just calling this Ask Mayo. I figured what I would do is I would look and see if anything else, or any kind of similar words that could go with ask from a thesaurus, online thesaurus. And I found originally the word grill. Another among the many words about relating to ask was to grill, when you grill somebody for information, So I was thinking of calling this series that I'm going to be doing Grill the Mayo. And told that to my girlfriend, and she thought, nah, that sounds harsh, we don't talk about roast or anything. Hey, Rossi 1973, I'm glad to see you here, pal. I know you missed last night, so I'm glad you made it here. So that's one of the titles I was thinking about, Grill the Mayo. But that grill sounds like, really, interrogation and stuff, and I don't want anybody to think it's a chance to start, like, starting trouble or anything like that. That's not what it's about. Right now, I got a title on the first video that I made the other day called BLT Q&A with Mayo. So I think it's something along those lines. So, so what else can I say? Bruno Goat says, what year or event do you think the Beatles get back together if John didn't die in 1980? The most popular one that people say, Bruno, a lot of times they say, they think Live Aid in 1985. If they hadn't gotten together, before then, there's a good chance that Live Aid might have inspired them to do a little something. And I'm not 100% that, but, I think Live Aid from July 13th of 1985, if I got the date right. I'm pretty good with dates. My brother-in-law used to tell me, my ex-brother-in-law, still a good friend, used to tell me, hey, if I was in The Sopranos, my Sopranos name, my, mafia name would be Joey Dates. Hey, Joey Dates. How you doing, Joey Dates? And I kind of think that fits me pretty good, Joey Dates. I like that. But, so that's what I think. Bruno, I was curious. I see you're here. Are you Bruno, the Four Seasons man that I met one time? Was a big Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons fan. So let me know. Don't call him heavy. He's my brother. Okay, we got Trust Me, I'm Black in the house, who is always a lot of fun. Bruno is your dog's name. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good name for a dog, Bruno. Anyway, so I see we get more people. We just got Connor, who's known as 2003 C-Pain here. Hello, Chatham43. So anybody got any questions? I know you're going to be running out of questions. For people who joined late, didn't intend to be here tonight, honestly. But I was going to go on Vic D. Betetto. I can't say his name. Vic D. Betetto. Oh, God, it's hard to say his name. Hey, Vic. I call him Dick. Vic D. Betetto. He's an Italian guy that's a funny comedian, I think, and he's got a site here. And I was going to go, and he's doing these live things himself, where he kind of calls people at home. You send them your phone number and email, and they call you, and you're on the show. But anyway, he postponed his chat tonight. So anyway, Reggie wants to know what's my favorite science fiction film. I always like to say Westworld from 1973, not to be confused with that god-awful TV show by HBO, of which I only saw the first episode, and that was enough. I won't be watching any more of those shows. I hated it with a passion. But anyway, it's hard to say. Westworld, the Planet of the Apes series, Planet Beneath, Escape, Conquest Battle, the 1970s series. Those are my all-time favorites. And, of course, I never tire of mentioning the Omega Man. With Charlton Heston, the Omega Man, which was, in recent years, remade again with Will Smith as I Am Legend. Richard Matheson's story. How's my day been today? I've had better days. I've had worse days, that kind of thing. So, just a day, really. Yeah, you like Aliens are good too. Reggie is mentioning Alien and Blade Runner. I didn't see Blade Runner. I didn't see Interstellar either. Hello to Michael D. Joseph. Good to see you here. And remember, everybody, this series that I'm doing here is more of a formal Q&A thing that is hopefully going to be retained as an archived video. If it goes fairly well. If it's boring as hell, I just won't bother keeping it. I mean, if there's enough interesting questions here. Favorite 90s movie? Good question. That's from Bruno Goetz. I have favorite 90s movies. First one that came to mind, though, the first one that came to mind is not my favorite. I'm going to say Pulp Fiction from 1994. I was going to say My Cousin Vinny. First thing that popped to my mind was My Cousin Vinny from 1992. I think My Cousin Vinny is one of the greatest comedies ever. And Pulp Fiction is one of the greatest movies ever, in my opinion, from 94. So those are the first two that come to mind as I quickly scan the 1990s in my mind. And there must be others, but I'm glad I came up with not one but two answers. Hello, Karen. I'm going to say your last name. It can't be the way it's Bradjack. Karen Bradjack. Good to see you here. This is Q&A. Anybody have any questions, opinions, comments, anything? Which version of Across the Universe do I prefer? Brayjack. Is it spelled like that? Yeah, Brayjack. That's kind of how it's said. Karen Brayjack. Okay. Which version of Across the Universe do I prefer? Actually, I'm going to do sacrilege in a lot of people's minds and say that I actually like the one that Phil Spector worked on. My favorite version is the one that's on the Let It Be album, as we know it, really. The main one. And maybe because that's the one I've heard the most. But I also like the one from Let It Be Naked, the one that's a little stripped, kind of. And I don't really care too much for the one with the girls singing on it. The wildlife one, Wildlife Fund, one from 68. And it has the birds, pigeons flapping around on the beginning. Only because it's kind of like it's a little too fast, maybe a little too sped up, I think. I know the names of the girls. I learned them a long time ago. Good trivia question. Lizzie Bravo and Gayleen Pease. Pease, I think. I bet a lot of people don't know. Lizzie Bravo and Gayleen Pease are the names of the two girls who sing background on the Our Wildlife Fund, whatever it's called. Our Wildlife Fund version of Across the Universe. What musicians have I written letters to? Well, the only one I ever wrote letters to was Joan Jett. And I wrote letters to Joan Jett when I was 21 years old, 21 years young. And it worked because she lived fairly close by to where I am. By writing letters to Joan Jett, and, not crazy letters, not stalker letters. I mean, today everything's about stalking. Oh, you're stalking. You write a letter of appreciation to, I did it in an intelligent way. I didn't, I made it very innocent. And she liked it so much that she sent me an autographed photo. And the autographed photo, I don't have it in front of me, otherwise I'd show it to you. You have the autographed photo on the front, then you turn it over. She wrote a little bit of a little note on the back. And then shortly thereafter, I met her in person a couple of times. So it worked. I probably wrote letters to some other people asking for their autographs through the mail, but oh, that's very nice, Michael Joseph. He writes, "It's wonderful to be here. Certainly a thrill. You're such a lovely YouTube host. We'd like to take you home with us. We'd love to take you home." Where have I heard that before? Thank you. I appreciate it. It's fun. Yes, there are children in the audience. This is true. What fan clubs was I a part of in my youth? I don't know if I actually joined any of the fan clubs. There were always fan clubs. Join the Blondie fan club. Join the Joan Jett and the Blackhearts fan club. Join the Famous Monsters fan club. I don't think I remember joining any. I'll probably remember after I might have joined the Joan Jett fan club, come to think of it, the Bad Reputation Nation. Yeah, there's something called the Bad Reputation Nation. I think I joined that for a very short time. Yeah. Okay. What happened to the guy who tried to kill George Harrison? I'm pretty sure he's in a mental institution. He was a certifiably not so crazy guy, and I think he's in a mental institution, if I'm not mistaken. The King's Court fan club. Yeah, that's true, right? Remember that? Ed of the King's Court. Good evening to Mr. Pick of My Life. How are you? Yeah, Rossi 1973, who's a big Elvis fan, says, I just wish they recorded When the Beatles Met Elvis. It would probably have been the best-selling album of all time. I cannot believe that they didn't have at least some good photographs. If they're not going to, record music, and if they're not going to do anything else, I mean, or make film footage, movie footage, at least take some photographs. I know there's some that exist, but, far away with, I think, John Lennon leaving the house or something, or Elvis leaving the house or something, but I don't know. That's one of the biggest oversights ever, Yeah. Bruno asks me, did I ever watch pro wrestling growing up? No, I really had no interest in most sports except for baseball, and I really wasn't interested in wrestling. In fact, the way I looked at professional wrestling was always on before the horror movies started. There was a horror movie. I think it was Fright Night in the New York, New Jersey area. They had a show called Fright Night. You had to wait for professional wrestling to end, so it was a pain in the ass sitting through that. Hey, we see Dan Poe is here. Any relation to Edgar Allan? Because I noticed you got the same last name, looks like. Karen says she waited on Killer Kowalski and also superstar Billy Graham. The funny thing is, I did go in my high school once. They did have Chief Jay Strongbow. Remember him? He used to do the Indian dance, right? And I think Andre the Giant. I think they actually showed up at my high school. But best album of the 21st century. Oh man, I wish I could. I really wish I could. I really hate questions. I mean, I don't hate the questions. I hate that I can't come up with answers like that. I can't stand when I can't come up with a snap answer to a question. And I'm afraid that whatever answer I give isn't really the right one if I really would have thought about it more, 21st century, wow. I know I like some albums in the 21st century, and I'm trying to deliberately not give an answer like, one of the ex-Beatles, like Paul McCartney. I'm trying not to give a Paul McCartney answer, But, wow, I know there's albums I like in the 21st century, but that shows you how few of them there are that I can't really think of them. I do like the Monkees' Good Times album from 2016, but whether that's the best album of the 20th century so far, 21st century so far, I really don't know. I love the El King album. Sue me if my nephew Alex is out there. I'm sorry. The album Love Stuff, which I think is a really good album. And I'm looking around here. Do I have any of the CDs handy here? Not really. Sorry, it's the best I could do. If I think about it during the rest of the chat and it pops into my head, I'll let you know. Yeah, some people, like Danny's here, Danny Ambrosi's telling me he did not get a notification. He just happened to check. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know how that works. I can't, I don't know what else to say. I don't know if it's something on your end that you have to kind of look up how to program notifications, or if I have to try to hit some kind of button or something that says when I'm on here. I really don't. Is my upstairs neighbor keeping quiet? Well, right now he's not home. So we'll see if that lasts. Yeah, well, my nephew kids around a lot and says, that my taste in music, he doesn't understand. That's my idea of a good album, El King. Well, yeah, yes, it is my idea of a good album. Yep. Nobody notifies. Trust me, I'm black. Says nobody notifies him. I also have to tell you that you weren't here last night, but this is not the free-for-all kind of format where everybody just aimlessly shares nonsense together. This is more of a formal chat with questions and answers. That's what I'm going to be doing, but that doesn't mean I'm going to cut out the other ones. So, what about, does John say I buried Paul or cranberry sauce? He most definitely, without a doubt, says cranberry sauce. And, it used to be a matter of opinion, and now it's definitely a fact now, because in all the time that's passed, there have been outtakes and session takes where you can hear John very clearly and loudly saying cranberry sauce. And he repeats it over and over again. Cranberry sauce, cranberry sauce, cranberry sauce. He says it more than once. And it's no longer in the fade out. You can hear it open and free. So it's not a mystery anymore. So, okay. Still trying to think of that favorite album. Well, yes, Reggie, the thing is, I guess, to be honest, right now I would say that Paul McCartney's last album, New, from 2013, I think is the best album I've heard from the 21st century so far, definitely. I definitely would say that. But I was trying deliberately to come up with a non-Beatle related answer, but I do think that's the best one. Also, I think Bob Dylan's Tempest is a fine album. Notice they're not new people, but I did mention El King. Why did John keep saying cranberry sauce, cranberry sauce, cranberry sauce? Was he recording on Thanksgiving? Well, all jokes aside, maybe because it had something to do with Strawberry Fields, you know, strawberry, cranberry. The song's called Strawberry Fields Forever. Just a guess. How do I think that Nobody Told Me would sound if Ringo recorded it? Yeah, it sounds so John to me, even though it was written for Ringo. Yeah, I could actually hear Ringo singing that song, but yeah, it's tough when you hear John's version to really fully imagine Ringo doing it. But you know, I've occasionally now and then thought about what it might be like for Ringo to have sung that. Has there been any artist that my nephew has made me a fan of? Well, it's very interesting that you say that because he's played some of Jack Black stuff to me. I did it again, Jack Black. God damn it! I always mix those two up. Jack White. Jack Black. Jack White. He's a big fan of Jack White, and I've liked some of the Jack White stuff. I forget. Is his band the Black Keys? Is his band the White Stripes? I don't remember who the band is. The White Stripes. And some of it's good, you know. That's pretty good. He also played me a Sean Lennon song from a Sean Lennon album that I liked. So, a good album band but terrible live band you enjoy? Nope. I can't think of one. You know, I'm trying to think. You know, I gotta say, this is going to be sacrilege, I know. I like Led Zeppelin a lot, but some of the live stuff I've heard from them, and I haven't heard a lot, but every time I hear them live, it never sounds comparable to the record to me. Now, I'm not saying that they're not great and, you know, exciting and explosive and powerful live, but I think I like the records by Zeppelin better than the live stuff I've heard by them. Okay, Karen says she just clicked on the bell above and it says you will get occasional notifications, but you always got all of them before. So it must be something YouTube is screwing up. But like I say, folks, eventually I'm gonna plan these Q&As, these specific Q&As. I'm gonna plan more on a schedule, best I can. As soon as I come up with a day, hopefully I'm not gonna spring them on you too often like this. You know. Does my nephew ever play me rap? Well, I don't think my nephew likes rap. I think he hates it. So, no, thank God he doesn't play me rap. You know. Okay. So Dan Poe says that Led Zeppelin were mostly terrible live. So then my inkling that they're not sounding too good? Yeah, okay, interesting. By the way, I mentioned earlier here, some of you may have missed this. I was trying to think of a title for these. Instead of calling these Q&As just Q&A, I was thinking of trying to incorporate the name Mayo in there somehow, mayonnaise. And I was thinking of all kinds of ideas. I was thinking like, you know, like you would say, things you would say like hold the mayo or extra mayo or things like that. And I was thinking, you know, what can I do in that? So I was looking online. I was looking at a dictionary. I was looking at a rhyming site where words rhyme. I was looking at a thesaurus. I was trying to find any kind of thing here. And I came up with a couple of times. Right now I'm using something called BLT Q&A with Mayo. Let me know what you think of that. And I also was using one that my girlfriend thought, in her opinion, was a little too rough. I was using one called, what is it? Grilled Mayo. Oh, jeez. Grill the Mayo. Like, you know, instead of ask the Mayo, grill the Mayo. Oh, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty good. Let's squirt the Mayo. Yeah. But which one's good? Which one's good? Q&A, BLT Q&A with Mayo? Or Q and Mayo. Hey, Mike Bass just joined us and he come up with Q and Mayo. It's not too bad. I'm open for ideas. I'm not, I like Q and Mayo. Which one was pretty good? Did you think the one? I just forget it again. Grill the Mayo was good. She said that sounds like Grill the Mayo. Sounds like roast the Mayo. Like give him bullshit. Bother him. So this is not like a hate thing. So. Okay, yeah, Q and Mayo is not bad, but that's how much do I think New York City has changed since John Lennon was around? Well, for me, it's funny because in some ways New York has gotten better, cleaner in some ways. In some ways it's gotten a lot worse. So I don't know, New York City had advantages then that it doesn't have now. And there were bad things now about it that are better now. So that's what I would say. It's changed. It's changed in a lot of ways, but it's all relative. Let's put it that way. What would John Lennon be doing if he was still around? This is from Make Me Potatoes. That's a question that Beatle fans get asked a lot, and sadly I can't even fathom a guess. Really don't know. So many things that we were deprived of because he died so early. Was killed. We say died. He was killed. I can't even imagine. But. Am I a fan at all of 70s progressive rock? Well, 2003 C-Pain will tell you right away how much I can't stand the group Yes, from what I've heard by Yes. I don't like Yes. I don't think I like prog. For the longest time I didn't even really know what progressive rock really meant. If Genesis is progressive rock, I like some Genesis. In fact, lately, I go up and down with these things. Lately, I've been thinking about Phil Collins, a guy who I never used to like. Musically when I was growing up, and now I'm thinking of tapping into some Phil Collins solo albums, like probably No Jacket Required to start out with. So I could see myself getting a little into Genesis because I've gotten to like Phil Collins' voice. Whereas I really couldn't stand it, I remember when I used to see him on MTV trying to do You Can't Hurry Love, no, you just have to wait. He's got that bald head. I wanted to give him such a sock when I used to watch him on MTV in the day. And I said, I didn't like his looks even, But now I feel a lot better about him. And I think I'll actually give him a chance. But I like Invisible Touch. I've heard of that, Invisible Touch, true. Have I ever heard mashups on YouTube? Two mashups on YouTube, like whole lot of Helter Skelter. No, I don't really. Karen says maybe John would have had more children with Yoko. I seriously doubt that because. At the time, it was very difficult for John and Yoko to have a child to begin with. They had a lot of Yoko had a lot of miscarriages, and the doctors didn't hold any hope that they'd ever be able to have a child. And John said that he stopped the drugs, stopped drinking, and they had Sean. But Yoko wasn't really in the best shape to handle having a child, and I forget how old she was when Sean was born. 42. She was 42 when Sean was born. So have any friends ever tried to turn me on to pop singers like Justin Bieber? No. Luckily, because all of them are old enough to be on that, You know, my niece used to listen to Britney Spears and stuff like that, but that, yeah, no. So, yeah. A lot of interesting comments being made here, but you know, we got to keep them kind of questions for this one. And I'm going to just add again, folks, that those kind of like free for alls where we just throw all kinds of crap out and go on for 2 or 3 hours, I'm going to still do those. But right now, I'm trying the more formal Q&A thing. What happened to Yoko Ono's daughter, Kyoko? Well, she actually was on one of my live chats once. Nobody knows. She swore she was Kyoko, but I don't think she was. Funny stuff. Billy Joel just had another kid. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Well, men seem to be able to have kids. Tony Randall, you know, was in The Odd Couple. You know, for those who don't know him, Tony Randall was in his 70s when he had a child. But it's the women. I think the women, as they get older, they can't all handle it. And Yoko really had miscarriages. You know. So, do I like Marvin Gaye? Some of his songs, sure. Do people at work annoy me about loving the Beatles? No, they think they're annoying me. But actually, I laugh my ass off at them. You know, I laugh at anybody that has anything bad to say about the Beatles. So, no, I'm not a fan of Declan McManus, who goes by the name of Elvis Costello. I feel there's only one Elvis, and that's Presley. And I don't really like a lot of Declan McManus Costello stuff, although I do like the song Pump It Up quite a bit. I don't know. What do I think of ghostwriting? Now, ghostwriting, you mean ghostwriting in general, or is that a band or something? Do I have any Sounds Incorporated records? Not that I know of. I've seen this person that's here, a fridge party. I've seen that person with that Jan, looks like Jan from the Brady Bunch movie. I've seen that person with that avatar before. You know, but with a different name, I think. No, I don't like. I'll say his name, even though it's Declan McManus. No, I don't. I don't like. I don't really care for Elvis Costello's work with Paul. Really, I don't. It didn't work for me. I don't know why. I mean, My Brave Face is not bad. I love the song. We're got a bad connection here, folks. It's going to happen from time to time. Hold on. The song Back on My Feet, I like a lot. But I'm not sure how much Elvis Costello had to do with that. Crazy Music Geek has arrived. Yeah, I like that. Michael D. Joseph says Justin Bieber had a Beatle haircut, and there's people who think that the Beatles had a Justin Bieber haircut. It was the other way around. That is ridiculous. Yeah, Woodland Goblin says you couldn't pay him enough to see Cirque du Soleil. I'm not interested in that either. That whole love thing, I couldn't care less about that. I don't like the Love album. I don't like the Love mashups. I'm not a fan of the Love Beatles project. Although I wouldn't mind seeing the show, but I just don't really care too much about listening to the album. Johnny Stocks asks me, do you not like Elvis Costello because of his lyric about Lennon? I didn't even know he had a lyric about Lennon, to tell you the truth. So that the answer is no. I just don't like many of his songs, and I think he comes across as thinking he's a little too better than he is. And I don't like him using the name Elvis. Other than that, I mean, if he had good songs, I wouldn't give a damn one way or the other. If he had songs, I mean, enough songs that I liked. I like the song Girls Talk. That's his, right? Or is that Dave Edmunds? Anyway. Yep. What causes the bad connections? I don't know. I don't know. But I know, again, I have this power cord plugged into the side of my computer instead of plugging it into the actual outlet in the wall. Or Janet Jackson had a baby after 50. Well, she must have a better, better parts. The most overrated band, that should be easy, shouldn't it? I want to say the Police. I think the Police are the most overrated band. Yes. Okay. Did I see Batman versus Superman? No, I didn't. As I get older, I'm staying away from a lot of these movies. It's too much CGI, too much all effects, and no story and no plot. And I heard some stupid things about that movie. I mean, I don't always rely just on what I hear through the grapevine, but I have no interest in seeing it. Yes, Mike Bass says that my screen name is now all together, no space. Yeah, I changed that today. And it's funny how it was when I first joined. They made you join this stupid thing, Google or whatever it was. It's a long story. I won't explain the rest, but yeah. The plot was How to Rule the World. Interesting. Very original. Very, very original. Yes, Girls Talk was an Costello song, but sung by Dave Edmunds, yep. But I also like there's a version on the Mad Love album that's sung by Linda Ronstadt that I love. Do you know if John ever had driven a car in his husband years? I would doubt it because you can't really drive. It's not easy to drive in Manhattan. So... Okay, top 3 stand-up comedians. Well, Rodney Dangerfield is number 1. It's funny. I'm drawing a blank now. Who else I like as stand-up comics? I used to like that guy Stephen Wright. I haven't seen him in a long time. Maybe Joan Rivers in her day. Those are the first 3 that pop in my mind right now. Am I your fan? Oops, hold on a minute. Oh, Don Rickles. Forget it. Don Rickles. Forget it. I forgot about Don Rickles. Don Rickles. Jesus. Of course. Jeez. Don Rickles. Absolutely. So we'll do Joan Rivers, Don Rickles, and Rodney Dangerfield. Sorry, Stephen Wright. Andrew Dice Clay, I like him too, even though he's vulgar and all that. I still think he's funny. Am I a fan of Hammer films, like the Hammer horror films? Sure, big fan of Hammer horror films. I prefer the Universal black and white ones, but second is Hammer. Do I like that Police song, Message in a Bottle? I despise that song. Every time I hear the end where they're going, send it on an SOS, 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 send it on an SOS. Send it on an SOS. Send it on. Send it already. Thoughts about the glam metal scene from the 80s. Don't have any opinion on that. Oh, I'm glad Karen went to see the Love Show and she had a good time. Good for you. I wouldn't if it was around and my girlfriend wanted to see it, I'd go. But I think I'd like it as a show more than just listening to the soundtrack. Dice has a new TV show, huh? You tried that before. I didn't know Dice has a new TV show. Tell me more about it. Is it on, and where is it on? What channel is it on, and etc. What do I think of U2's version of Helter Skelter? I've heard their version of Helter Skelter, and it's not bad, Yeah. Hold on a minute. Because my screen's frozen right now. I don't know if yours is too. Okay. Someone says here that John Lennon was a terrible driver, and how he got an accident, got a scar. I agree. From what I heard, John was a terrible driver. Favorite Led Zeppelin album cover. Now I got to spend time here and waste 5 minutes thinking of all the album covers. Hold on a minute. First one, no. 2, no. 3, no. Houses of the Holy. Physical Graffiti. Presence, no. I'm going to go with either Physical Graffiti, an album that I don't like. Houses of the Holy. It was Zeppelin 4. How's that? And I also like In Through the Outdoor with the paper bag effect. So, yeah, the old man painting on Led Zeppelin 4. That's a nice cover. When he's got what does he got? Does he got weeds in his back or plants? Yeah. Trust Me on Black says that Mayo should get into Lou Reed, Pet Sounds, and also rap. Sure, I'll do that right after I get into football. What a nightmare, all of those. Do I have a favorite song by Green Day? Yeah, the song is, I think it's called Boulevard of Broken Dreams. That one, I Walk Alone or whatever. That's my favorite song by them. Okay, so John drove in New York. I can't imagine John Lennon driving in New York City. Yes, Rossi73 read that Lennon had really bad eyesight. This is true. Very bad eyesight. Had to wear glasses and blind as a bat without them. Even when he was younger and he didn't really want to wear them because he didn't think it was cool. What do I think of Charles Manson's albums? I've never heard Charles Manson's albums, and to tell you or his music, quote, and I probably wouldn't listen to the music on sheer principle. So, is there a Beatles cover not as good as the original? Not to me, there isn't, and I mean that. One of the things about the Beatles is that they did fantastic cover songs, in my opinion, many of which were better than the originals, or at least were as good as the originals. I can't think of a Beatles cover song, and maybe as I think more, I'll be able to come up with it, but no, I really like the Beatles that much, Yes, there are photographs of John and Yoko bicycling around Manhattan, so I know they were, they were bicycling. Crazy Music Geek asked me, Jan and Dean or Simon and Garfunkel? Well, I like both Jan and Dean and Simon and Garfunkel, but Simon and Garfunkel take that very easily to me. When Elvin, you're mentioning the song "Money." Are you saying that the Beatles version of "Money" is not as good as the original? Let me tell you something. John Lennon screams that song "Money" from the soul, as if he really means every syllable of that song. It's one of the all-time greatest covers I've ever heard, and it blows away the original. If that's what you were saying, and you said no, so I'm a little mixed up. I don't know what you mean. So. Yeah, that's right. Trust Me I'm Black says, now crazy people are running down folks in New York riding bicycles. You got it. The world is finished, my friends. The world is finished. That's why I sit here and I enjoy everything from the past. Exactly, Mike Bass. I agree with you. The power in the song Money that John Lennon sings, the way he sings it, is similar to the power Twist and Shout. I agree. I mean, you know, so I think Elvin and I keep saying Mash. His name's not Mash, Massey. We disagree on that, Elvin. Well, here's the funny question. 2003 C. Payne asked me, how have I been coping without the Beatles Sirius XM radio station? You know, a while back I said that, you know, I wasn't paying my bill because I thought the station sucked, so I figured let them disconnect me. I don't give a shit. So what happens is that eventually for like a day or so, or maybe half a day, I turned it on once and there was no station signal. I'm like, oh, I guess they pulled the plug. But then I find out I got it again. So I'm thinking right now, don't they have a free promotion going on now? So I think I got it temporarily for free again. And I gotta say, today I heard a song that, when I was driving, I heard a song that I haven't heard yet. John Lennon's Give Me Some Truth. Which, you know, I want to hear more solo songs. Oh, Elvin, I'm sorry. All of that, damn it. I'm sorry, Elvin. My apologies. Anybody listening to this, just to be clear, Elvin says that he agrees with me. Money by the Beatles sounds better than the original. Well, we agree on that, but I don't know if it's better. Yeah, I'm trying to be kind about it. I like the original version, you know, the Money version, the original, but so anyway, that's what happened. I gave up on Sirius XM for now. Yeah, but I just find that it's not right with not having the Beatles channel in the car if I want to hear it. Like, it's good to have it there if I want to hear it and see what they're up to, you know. So I don't know. Let's see, what else do we got here? I'm not going to get into that one, Reggie. Do I like the Doors song Roadhouse Blues? Is that the one about got myself a beer? Woke up this morning and got myself a beer. Is that the song? Just let me know. Because I like that song. I like that song. It's a good song. Okay, so you see I like Doors songs. My sleeve is all messed up. Why didn't somebody tell me? Yeah, the Beatles' Twist and Shout is definitely better than the Isley Brothers. But you know what? The Isley Brothers original is good too. The version of Light My Fire, good question. Savage Lars asked me, do I prefer the album version of Light My Fire or the 45 version? Now, does the 45 version cut out a lot of that annoying, endless synthesizer shit in the middle? Because if it's a shorter version where it's more, I think it's a shorter version. I prefer the shorter version. I know that's sacrilege. I just find it goes on a little too long, all of that in the middle, you know? Barkley, James Harvest. Twist and Shout or La Bamba. Or Killer Joe. Salt and Pepper did a version of Twist and Shout. Please, spare me that, will you? You know, folks, another thing is I'm trying to keep these chats short now. And like I always say, I'm aiming to keep these, when I say chats, these Q&As, I'm trying to keep them at an hour and no more than an hour. But I still say, depending on how much fun we're having, we can go 65 minutes, 70 minutes, but no more than 60 to 70 minutes. Already we got 55 minutes, almost 56 minutes now. So, yeah, back to that Doors song. Yeah, and the single, they chop off the long synthesizer solo. I mean, I like the synthesizer solo if it was a little shorter, but it goes on a little too long. Yeah, the reason that I'm trying to keep this at 60 minutes is because I'm going to try to keep these Q&A videos. What was the name of that again? I forgot already. Q and Mayo with a capital A. Q and Mayo. No, how do you spell that again? Because if I put a capital M and a capital A together, the A won't stand. Q, put a small M. I got to spell it with a small M, right? I might use that. Mayo's Madhouse. Well, that's it. Trust me, I'm black. Get it through your head, my man. This is not Mayo's Madhouse. This is a formal, respectable Q&A. The Mayo's Madhouse, which, by the way, is a good title. I don't mind telling you that. I may use Mayo's Madhouse when we do those free-for-alls. But the thing about those free-for-alls that we used to do is I don't save those. I don't archive those. But I still may call it Mayo's Madhouse. I like that. Any advice for a new Monkees fan? Yeah, buy a Hits album. Buy a double CD, the Monkees' Greatest Hits. There's a CD double. I'd say start with the hits. What about a cigarette break? Okay. Have I heard Justin Bieber's Beatles covers? Very disrespectful, you say? Are you telling me that seriously, Justin Bieber does Beatles covers? Mayo for mayor. I like that. Yeah, well, in New York City, we got Big Bird again there, huh? Should have had Bo Dietl. Just realizing this is going to be a permanent video. Do I like mayo when flavors are added? I definitely prefer Miracle Whip to mayo, but Mean Mr. Miracle Whip just didn't really do it. Favorite Looney Tunes cartoon? I don't have one, but just about anything with Bugs Bunny I like. But I like that one with the little frog, too, when the guy's working on the construction site, I think, or wherever he's working. He sees a little box with a frog that knows how to sing opera. So there you go. Please, One Direction's cover of All You Need Is Love almost made you throw up. It's making me nauseous just thinking about it. Catch Up with Mayo. You know something? That's a good title, too. You're talking about for the Q&As? Catch Up with Mayo. Let me know what you think of that, folks. Catch Up with Mayo. Okay. I'm sorry, Alan C. Records. I didn't see your video yet. I'll check it out. I promise. Catch Up with Mayo is pretty damn good. I gotta say, but I gotta remember who's the one who thought about that. What do you like better? Catch Up with Mayo Let's take a vote here. Catch Up with Mayo is number one. The other one is what they said before. Q and Mayo, like Q and A with the A capital. Q and Mayo. You know, it's not going to be Squirt the Mayo because it doesn't really have to do with anything. The idea of Catch Up with Mayo is supposed to be, you know, asking me questions, see what's going on. I want people to know it's a Q&A when they look at it. You know what I mean? You know, I got to remember, too, I'm sorry if I forget that Johnny Stocks is the one who came up with that. Thank you, Johnny Stocks. But, you know, I'm going to forget who it was. There's so many people, you know. No, I've never read the book Catcher in the Rye. No. Everybody seems to prefer that. What about the one that I had earlier that I thought up? Honestly, tell me the truth. The one that some people might not have heard yet. Did you like mine? What was it again? Grill the Mayo. My girlfriend thought Grill the Mayo sounds a little bit too, like, hostile. Like, you know, let's go in there and bust his balls. So, the best book you've ever read is A Catcher in the Rye. For shame. That's what drove that idiot who killed John Lennon into it. Don't like Grill the Mayo? Catch Up with Mayo. That's it. How about, should I spell it catch up? I like it. Or should I spell it ketchup? BLT Q&A, isn't BLT Q&A with Mayo? That's another one that I thought up. BLT Q&A with Mayo. Catch Up with Mayo. That's pretty damn good. You should congratulate yourself for that, Johnny. So anyway, what did Karloff say? Wait a minute. I'm missing a lot of questions. Wait a minute. Do I like Todd Rundgren? Oh, I can't stand him. I mean, I like some of Todd Rundgren's songs, no doubt about it. But when I see him on stage with Ringo, he just thinks who the hell he is. It's like, sit down. You know, sit down with that stoop banging on that drum all day. You know? Yeah, Catch Up with a K. I should put it out there, you know, everybody, like a contest, like whoever comes up with the best name gets a prize. No prize, Johnny. Nope. I don't have a prize. We're at 63 minutes now, so I don't want this to go too long, but I could go on for a while. But I want to try to see what did Karloff say when he heard Lugosi checked into a drug rehab. What did Boris Karloff say when he heard Lugosi checked into a drug rehab? Did he say poor Bela? That's what everybody always says. So anyway, I think I'm going to be getting to the end of this one. Poor Bela, I was right. That's what everybody says, poor Bela. Speaking of which, I might want to watch a Bela Lugosi movie tonight, actually. Yeah. No, I actually do like other songs. Hello, he's got a lot of good. He's got a bunch of good songs, Todd Rundgren. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, should I... Oh, hold on a minute. I'm frozen here. I don't know if you are. My laptop is frozen. Anyway, should I spell it like Chatham43 says? Ketchup with Mayo. Ketchup with the K. Ketchup with Mayo. Or Catch Up with Mayo, and everybody knows that means ketchup. Well, we're going to knock this off now, folks. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for all the questions. And I got to think of some more funny stuff to say at the end, you know? I gotta have like a sign off or something like that, you know, eat your vegetables or whatever. Yeah, right. Drink your water. That's what I'm doing. Thank you, everybody. I am going to try to come up, as I sign off here, I'm going to try to come up with a more regular time for these. I'm going to find a way to make these Q&As not as frequent so you can think up your questions, and hopefully we'll get new blood in here. We've had some new people in here tonight. I like that, although it's always great to see the old people, the regulars. Take care, everybody. Thanks for your participation, and thanks for watching my channel. Take care.